I actually dig it. I like it. I like it. This is gonna work. This is cool. Awesome. Hey guys, it is absolutely fantastic to see you. I'm actually starting a new series today called Shower Thoughts in My Car. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually starting a short course now, which means between work and studying, I don't know if I'll have enough time to do, videos where I set up my camera, my tripod, my mic, all of that while I'm in my room. Because I have to study when I get home now. So I've decided I'm going to do these quick videos on my way home. So Flip, I really hope this camera holds. It's literally on a selfie stick and I've just taped it to the dashboard. And so I'm going to be driving slowly, a lot more slowly and careful than usual, just to make sure the camera doesn't fall over. But guys, today we're going to be talking about a topic I'm very, very, very passionate about. And there is a lot of glare there. But that is about Doctor Who. Now, for those of you that don't know, Doctor Who is a British science fiction television series that was started in 1963. And when it started, it was starring William Hartnell as the Doctor. And basically the Doctor was a renegade Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. And these Time Lords, that's the race that he is, he's a Time Lord, they are in fact time travelers. And so he stole a device called the TARDIS, which enabled him to travel through time and space. And he went on all of these grand adventures with his granddaughter. And so the series was a smashing hit and is still going to this day. It was cancelled for a brief period, but I wouldn't say brief period, it was a few years. But they brought it back, and when they rebooted the series, it was with Christopher Eccleston, who is a different actor, of course, seen as, William Hartnell, unfortunately he had passed away a long time ago. But the reason they were able to cast different actors is because the Doctor, who is a Time Lord, as I mentioned before, they have two hearts, and because of this they have this ability to regenerate. And basically what that means is when they die, they don't just die, they transform, they cheat death, and so they get a new form and they become a new person ultimately, and the glare's back. So that's why you're able to keep the Doctor Who franchise going, because you can always replace it with a new lead. So we get people like David Tennant, Matt Smith, Tom Baker, Peter Davison, John Pertwee, who's one of my personal favorites. And you have all of these fantastic versions of the Doctor, and each Doctor has a different persona, a different personality, a different way he deals with specific things, as well as different companions and stuff like that. But we're going to be talking about Doctor Who in its current state. So I've spoken about how much I've loved Doctor Who, what an impact it had on my life, and at this point I've pretty much just given up on it. And I know tons of fans have, and that is because of the political direction the show is going in. And I have no problem with bringing a little bit of politics into a show, but when the politics become the show and the story seems secondary, that's when I have a problem. I feel like Doctor Who no longer is about telling stories, it's about pushing in a political agenda. And that really started to become apparent with Peter Capaldi. And at that point I still didn't mind it, but I definitely stopped enjoying the show as much. And in my opinion, Peter Capaldi was a fantastic performer. I loved him as the Doctor. So to see the show where it was and where it is now is incredibly disappointing to me. Because, as I said, it's not about story. And to me, Doctor Who always told the best story. It's about this guy who continues to save the world no matter what. And so it was always, to me, it was story driven, it was character driven, told fantastic stories. That's not the case anymore. Now it is used to push an agenda, a very left-wing agenda as well. And I don't like that. It's not Doctor Who to me anymore. And it became incredibly apparent what they were doing when they cast the latest Doctor. For those of you that don't know, the Doctor has always been a male character, and they recently made the Doctor a female. Jodie Whittaker is the current Doctor, and Eric Chibnall is the current showrunner. And I don't want to sound sexist or anything, because that is not my intention at all. If they wanted to make now my goal here is not to say women shouldn't, be in charge. Oh, my camera's falling over. Now I want you guys to really understand where I'm coming from right now. My goal is not to say women shouldn't be lead characters. My goal is not to say women don't deserve the spotlight and stuff like that. Sorry, this is a very bumpy road right now. That's why my camera's going a little bit cray-cray. The story's very minimal now. And you can tell because it feels like there's been majority of the episode trying to go, ooh, this is an injustice, let's focus on this. And they're trying to tell a political story through it rather than just telling an engaging science fiction story. And you can see it's not just me that's complaining about it. Many lifelong Doctor Who fans have pulled out of the show. I mean, if you look at the ratings, if I'm not mistaken, are lower than they've ever been. I mean, when Jodie Whittaker first became the Doctor, ratings were up, viewings were up and everything. But after a few episodes, people realized what was happening and they were like, sorry, Jodie, we know what you're doing. We're against this. And so lots and lots of Doctor Who fans are feeling betrayed because a lot of them are actually being attacked. They're busy going, well, Doctor Who's not the show for you if you don't support this, don't support that. And lots of fans are saying that they feel like they're being attacked by Eric Chibnall and by Jodie Whittaker. To be 100% honest, I completely agree where they're coming from. And I honestly, at this point, I can tell you Doctor Who might get cancelled. Like, all of the fans that cared about it at one point seem to have just moved on. They're losing support so flipping quickly. And so it looks like the show might get cancelled. And to be 100% honest, I think that might be the best thing for Doctor Who right now. We've seen Doctor Who come back from cancellations many times. But moving on, how do we save Doctor Who? And that's what I really want to talk about in this episode. So this is what I would do if I was showrunner of Doctor Who. I would make the show take a brief break, maybe a year or two. I understand that might not sound like the greatest thing ever, but I would. I'd make sure that we take a year or two off. And I would make sure that when Doctor Who comes back, we don't focus on politics, we focus on story. That is the most important thing. And I know that so many people want to go, let's get rid of Jodie Whittaker, let's retcon her, let's make sure that she never comes back, let's just ignore that Jodie Whittaker ever happened. I wouldn't do that, because there are quite a few Jodie Whittaker fans. And the fact of the matter is, I don't believe in erasing history in terms of Doctor Who. Doctor Who is an incredibly long-standing series with more than 50 years, almost 60 years worth of history. So I don't believe in erasing history. But what I would do is I would make the Jodie Whittaker adventures take place in a parallel universe. Meaning when we reboot Doctor Who, the Jodie Whittaker adventures and her version of the Doctor and everything would have still happened. But it wouldn't be in the universe that we're busy watching. What I would do is I'd make the audience aware that there are parallel universes, and we know that there are parallel universes from the David Tennant era with the Cybermen and stuff like that. So what I would do is I would tell the audience, look, the Jodie Whittaker episodes happened, but that was a parallel universe, and I would get Peter Capaldi to come back and film just for the first 5 minutes, re-film his regeneration. And rather than Jodie Whittaker come out, we'd have a new Doctor come out who's a fan favorite. I mean, let's go full out and let's get somebody that the fans have been wanting to see as the Doctor for a very, very long time. Like, let's really please the fans, because it's an apology, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to think as a showrunner now. As a fan, I would definitely like to see a fan favorite as Doctor Who. But I'm trying to think smartly now. If you're trying to get those fans back, please the fans. That's the most simple thing. And so basically, we'd be wiping the slate clean. Jodie Whittaker wouldn't happen in this universe, but she did happen in a parallel universe. But so much has happened, and so many people don't like the direction that the Jodie Whittaker series has gone in, that I think this is an okay way of getting past that. So guys, in closing, that's how I would do it. I would go, cool, brief break, replace Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, make sure that people understand that she is still the Doctor in a parallel universe, and if they want to continue her continuity, they can. If they want to continue her continuity, they can. I mean, we've still got Doctor Who comics from the flipping 70s, 80s and stuff like that, continuing their stories and stuff like that. So we can continue the Jodie Whittaker story in a different medium, and we can bring in a new actor, a fan favorite, to be the current Doctor in the new mainstream media. And they can interact through parallel universe adventures and stuff like that. But let's just try get back the old fan base, because at the current rate, it feels like the fans are being disrespected because they don't agree with the direction the show's going. And in my opinion, you should always put the fans first. I understand that you have to sometimes go against what your fans want, but you should never deliberately annoy your fans. I feel like that's what they've done a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's just my opinion on how they can save Doctor Who. Let me know if you think that's a good idea or not. I would love to know what you guys think. And let me know what you think of this new series. Is it something you'd enjoy to see more of? If you comment within the first 24 hours of this video going up, and I really dig that comment, I'm going to make sure I pin it. So guys, come on, get some juicy comments going. We're going to be pinning that stuff. And guys, let me know what you think. How can Doctor Who be saved at this point? Or do you think it's actually too far gone? Do you think they just have to cancel Doctor Who outright? I would love to know. Let's get a discussion going down in the comments. And finally, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Don't be afraid to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Check you later.